Hello, Hyena. Nice to see you. How you changed your cam so you can look down on all of us.
Well, I just put it on my hydro flask after. This is the only thing I use it for, so
I am not able to hear
adjust.
you. I'm not able to hear you at all. I don't know if it's your mic. I don't know if it's on our end. I heard about 2 words that you said.
Hello?
Got it. Hello? Oh, I could hear people hollering in the background. All right. So
Hang on, that's my headset mic.
Is it okay? I mean, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first question is going to be, you are right now looking to finish 5th. That is your ceiling for this season. What is your motivation and goals for the remainder of the season, knowing that you were locked into the bottom 4 no matter what based on points? What are you working on changes for next season? Is there still motivation? Is there bragging rights? What is it that's guiding you forward for the remaining games this season?
Well, quite frankly, I don't know if there's going to be a next season, so we're just, playing our games, trying to win, trying to improve. We're doing our jobs, and, we're hoping for the best. I think there's no Pro League finals anymore, a lot of teams are just using this as an opportunity to, get better with, game day experience, so that's how we're looking at it right now.
Well, it's, a different result that I was expecting, but when you match up against a team like E-United, they're a very aggressive team. Do you have to work to contain them in a certain way? Because I noticed that there were a couple rounds where they seemed to stall out against you folks a lot more than they did against other teams over the past 3 play days.
I think they were playing a little scared, and that's not what we expected from them. I feel like after one of their rushes got shut down, they kind of played a little more passive and were taking a lot of time. But, we adapted well and we played our game. And at the end of the day, it's that's all we need to do to take the win.
Was that aggressiveness something that you kept in mind when we noted on your armory defenses, you played very deep into archives and didn't really have anybody actively engaged on the armory wall or holding monitor/security? This is a deliberate strategy, obviously. It allowed a plan to go down for E-United every single time. Was that the intended plan to go for a retake, or was it just something that E-United read into well?
If I remember correctly, we messed up our position one of the rounds, but yeah, the plan with that specific hold is definitely to go for the retake there. Either retake half wall or, rely on our smokes or our utility underneath to deny the plant rather than just throw a body at it.
Is that something specific with the United, or is that just something that you look at for armory? If I can ask that, I understand that you might not want to give away all of the secrets, but I'm curious as to that's just a counter strat measure against EU, or if it's a greater play for your team because it plays to your strengths.
I would say it's more that it plays to our strengths for sure.
Got it. I didn't want you to have to give away too much, but that's what I need to hear. Thank you. Well, that's it for all the questions this interview. Anything to say to the fans before we end it?
Nope. Thank you for all the support, and stay safe, guys. A lot of crazy things happening in the world.
Well, thank you very, very much. Take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully we'll see you again.
You too.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, my feed had stopped working on you for some reason. It didn't pop up. It was just on me. Anyway, hello, Lycan. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming on yet again.
Thanks for having me.
My first question for you, was this the wreck that you expected to see given what happened in the TSM match 2 play days ago?
I think TSM did say that they were trying things out on border, and I don't think it was a good show of how good Rec is, I guess, on it, because they're playing a team who wasn't as prepared. I think it's a map that we've always really liked to go to, so yeah, I think it was just going to be way different than that match.
Were you expecting Border to be played? Because Border is not a map that you've played in Pro League. You played it just a couple times at the 6 Invitational. It's not really a map that seems to be in your map pool here.
We really like Border. It's sometimes really hard to pull it out because it's usually either the team doesn't really want to go there and they'll ban it on you, or the team really wants to go there and it makes sense for us to usually ban it on them because we have so many other maps that we can go to. So it's kind of hard usually to like take a team there. We just knew in this case that if we had it open that they would want it to go there, and so we prepped specifically just for border. So
they banned Buck against TSM. Were you expecting the same thing to happen to you?
Yeah, Rampy's a really good Buck, and as well TSM has good Bucks too. We assumed that it would be there. If it wasn't that, then Capitao, but they like Capitao. So
how much of the Buck ban encouraged you to play as aggressively inside of monitors / security, knowing that the floor couldn't be torn up by a skeleton key? Was that just an adaptation to the ban, or was that something that was a little bit more premeditated, regardless of whether he would be on the board or not, in place of a Capitao ban, for example?
Historically, we've never ran a CC hold, so we've been trying to kind of change up border since our notorious game against Nip on it, where they slammed us. So we've been trying to change things up a little bit on border, and that was part of it, making a CC hold. So now we're a little bit more multi-dimensional than we were before. And the Buck ban definitely makes it easier, but that wasn't the reason why we went there.
How much does an operator like Wamai now being available enable you to hold that side of the map more than, a couple weeks ago when he wasn't available for you to play?
I think that's really the main reason why we even decided to do a CC hold. We think a lot of times, like when you play against aggressive players, they'll just try to distract you with some utility and then jump in the window and try to frag you. And it gets really frustrating being the player that holds back behind Horseshoe. But I think with Wamai, you have more time to kind of like stall out, and it's not like, all right, Jaegers are gone, like they're in, just like wait for them to jump in or like get through on break. So I think he gives us more confidence in that aspect.
Well, thank you so much for dissecting and breaking apart a specific part of the map, and I always enjoy listening to your thoughts. Anything to say to the fans, etc.? Always kind words, gracious words as we end the interview.
Thanks everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. Hopefully everyone's having a good week of quarantine. Like I always say, any team that you're following, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys supporting Rainbow Six, and stay home, stay safe.
And stay humble and hustle as well. As your motivational poster behind you says. Always a pleasure, Justin.
Yes.
Take care. Good luck in the rest of the season.
All right, thanks, Parker.
Hello, Achieved. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know what? I do like the beard. I do. It took me a while.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It took me a while to warm up to it, but I think it suits you now, because I saw a picture of you actually the other day without a beard, and I was like, oh, the beard is so good. And I was just like, he suits it. It rocks. He rocks it well. However, let's talk about that matchup in particular. Now, you go to Cafe. It's a good map for you. First question: did you expect Mira to escape through the ban phase?
Actually, so we actually didn't plan on actually playing Mira there, but based off their bans, we were comfortable just leaving it up. We usually don't have Mira up whenever we play that, but I mean, we were like comfortable with leaving it up and just playing off of it, and we just kind of like ran mirrors like wherever and kind of just like adapted to it.
So you mentioned that you adapted to it when you played the Mira. From what I've heard of Scrim reports, a lot of teams don't usually practice all that much with Mira. She gets banned quite frequently. Was it totally reactive and just you playing off of your own abilities, or did you practice Mira setups before and were able to execute those?
No, we never practice Mira on that side. We have some strats for Mira, but on Cafe, it's that operator is usually banned like almost 100% of the time. It's pretty high up there. So we didn't really have anything set in stone, but Gio likes the Mira, and he just kind of called out where to put them and stuff. So it kind of worked out, I guess.
I'd imagine that's part of the depth of your team, is that you can make those things up on the fly and really be able to revolve around that. How much did the Mira and Valkyrie both being available allow you to make plays on defense, especially with how aggressive you were roaming?
So the mirror really like slowed them down, like especially like our mirror was in position. So like whenever like, even if they would like, for instance, our reading, like even if they take the top 4, when they get down to sight, if they do a reading take, they're gonna have to, get a mirror, and if he bucks above it, you can C4 him like Gio did on the last round. So I'd definitely say like the mirror definitely helped us. Like we were able to get C4 picks off of it. We were able just to play behind them if they didn't pop them. And then the Valk, like they used it pretty well, especially I know. Well, they kept like throwing cams outside and stuff, but I'd say Bo used it pretty well too. Bo ran into Christmas one round and got like a 3-piece, and Merc got aggressive too. So I definitely say we were able to make plays around like both those operators today.
The last question I'm going to ask you is the strat that EG pulled when they decided to rush through prep into Bakery. You had a very extensive roam set up off-site. Were you A, anticipating a rush, and B, when the call was made that it was coming out, how did you as a team manage to make changes to get back into sight to assist Gio and Pojo?
Yeah, so our roam is pretty set up. Like we're all pretty set up upstairs, but to be honest, like even before the round, like we called it, like they're probably going to rush. So we were all in positions to react off of it and get closer to sight, like as it happened. And then the second the call was made, Bo was making holes above prep. He got a pick, and then like I dropped sight. Pojo and Gio held it down in sight, and then like Merc was on red. So I mean, we caught it beforehand, and we all set up for it. And we also like expected it, to be honest. We've actually encountered that a lot in scrims too, as well. We've encountered people like rushing, so it was nothing like new to us.
Well, these were 3 very big points today as you look to hang on to the lead in North America. Obviously, your closest competitor in Space Station picked up 3 today, so you keep the same gap. Anything to say to the fans at the tail end of this interview?
Just thank you everyone for watching the games. Thank you for supporting the boys. We appreciate it. Thank you to TSM always. Thank you to all the casters, everyone who watches. We appreciate it, and everyone who like works on Pro League. And just stay safe.
Wonderful words from Matthew Solomon. Thanks for joining us again, my dude, and hopefully we see you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm doing well, man. How are you? It's nice. Oh, it is so nice to hear you. Also, the question I need to ask first and foremost, what room are you in? Why are you not in the bullpen with the rest of the team?
Well, the webcam in the bullpen is like hooked up to the computer to show like all of our webcams. So I don't know why it just messes up. So I just I literally just run up to my room real quick to do these.
So the moment you're done, you throw the headphones off and you just run up top. That's it.
Yep. That's literally what I do.
Well, perfect. Congratulations on your victory today. Thank you for answering that question. First things first, a map like Coastline, there seemed to be a little bit more utility play from both you as well as from them. Do you think that was because operators like Mira and Capitao made it through the ban phase? And if so, were you surprised by that?
Not really surprised by the Mira or Cap. I would say I was more surprised with like the Wamai and the Jaeger play by them. It kind of caught us off guard because it's usually not really played on Coastline. But I think we kind of just at the end just went where they weren't doing that, and it worked out.
Now, were you surprised by the Lion ban against you folks at all, or was that something that you were expecting?
We were expecting that, yeah.
Yeah. How much does that change up your strategy? Let's say, for example, let's dive into the mind of you for a second here. Let's say Lion does not get removed from action. Does that change up your game plan, or are you prepped and ready for both scenarios, or are you still leaning into the Lionless play style?
I mean, even if Lion gets banned, it's not like a must-have pick to have. It's just kind of like a comfort pick for Tyler, and Lion's annoying for everyone. That's basically the reason we bring him.
The one thing that your team seemed to do quite well was adapt. At the end of a lot of rounds, you were able to make some significantly large plays based off of individual contributions. How much of that is simply their own reactions versus how much of that is you having somebody call for them or have info from drones, cams, and so on?
I would say probably most of it is from info and drones and stuff. But I think calls, Skies and Kyle, I think have been pretty good lately. Yeah, honestly, most of it's just from drones, like us having like really good drone networks.
Now, it was announced on Twitter just a couple days ago, and this will be the last question, that your longtime coach then moved away from coaching, as now BC is taking up that role. Bacon is departing the active organization, active roster, to work in tandem with the organization. I'm going to give you a moment here just to say your thoughts on him and give him some respect, because I know Jordan quite well, and the impact that he's had on NA Pro League has been quite large. I think it's an appropriate ending to the interview for you to sum up his thoughts and contributions to this team.
Well, Jordan, as you guys know him, Bacon. He's been on the team for a good year, almost 2 years now. He was my desk mate for like a good solid year of that. He's a great guy. I love him. He's he's the guy who will say what needs to be said a lot of the times. So we'll be missing that, I think. Obviously, he'll still be there with us most of the time. He'll be obviously moving to Vegas with us when we do. But yeah, Jordan's great to have around. He's obviously you know him. He always jokes around, and he rages a lot. So I mean that's one thing that I won't miss. But yep, we love him.
He's had quite the journey. He came onto your team actually when you were still technically with SK, right before DreamHack Montreal. I want to say in 2018, I believe, was when he stepped on. It was right before the event. So. Yeah, I mean, he's a great friend of mine. It's sad that he's departing the Rainbow Six, I guess, scene to a certain extent, though I still expect him to be heavily involved. And on behalf of our caster team, we all like him as well. So I just wanted to allow you to say anything nice about him. But that's the end of the interview.
One thing, though. I don't know if you did, but I think you told me to ask you if you told him happy birthday on his birthday.
Oh, my goodness. No, I did not wish him happy birthday on his birthday.
That's wrong.
To be fair, I didn't know it was his birthday. Believe it or not, as good of a friend as I might be with Jordan, I don't have a reminder set for his birthday, and I didn't even know what his birthday was until it was a week ago? A week and a half ago?
It was his 30th. You're supposed to know those things. Come on, he's a boomer.
I'm turning 30 this year as well. We're in the same age bracket. So
well, you're very young. You look good. Okay, just remember that.
No. Thank you. You look good too. Anyway, that's the end of the interview. Anything to say to the fans, etc. As we conclude this entire play day, you get the final word.
Just one thing: to dream. We were just born ready. That's it.
Oh, well, that's all it needs to be said, isn't it? Take care of yourself. Congratulations on the victory today, and hopefully we'll see you again before the end of the season.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too.